3. So we're going to fire some questions at him, see what he comes up with, and of course we just want to listen to what it's actually like to earn and run a place like this. So we'll start off with what made you actually start rescuing dogs and setting up your own rescue centre, by the way.
Thanks, Carl. Basically, I had a dog that was called SHAK myself, and I lost him to cancer out of the blue. One day he was fine, next day I took him out for a walk, he collapsed, 4 days later he died. He was only 7.5, and I'll be honest, it hit me quite badly, because I just didn't expect it to happen. I decided then I was going to give a little bit of time to do some voluntary work or whatever with rescues, and give a little bit back to the dogs. Going through the classic, never again am I getting a dog, I'm not putting myself through that again. So that was kind of the plan, and it hasn't really worked out that way at all, to be honest. I've now got 3 dogs at home myself, and obviously the rescue itself's got over 50 in my care. It was a case of just seeing that, you know, big dogs especially are having such a bad time at the moment, and being a soft touch, I think I took it on myself to obviously, you know, save one, and then before you know it, you've got 2, 3, whatever, and it just sort of all escalated from there.
Well, I've got one at home, and apparently you went and saved that one as well.
so I hear, yeah. I remember her, yes, she was a gorgeous girl. And that was the kind of thing, you know, a lot of the big dogs do get picked up as strays, and there's not a great deal of places for them to go. I think society's now changing where there isn't the desire now for bigger dogs that there used to be. Certainly when I was growing up, there was a lot of German Shepherds and stuff all over the place. I think now it's a lot more. There's so many smaller breeds that have come to the forefront, and I know I live in Bedlington, and walking around Bedlington, you don't see a great deal of bigger dogs now. So yeah, it was good.
I'd just like to say, how many do you have at the centre, and how many on average come in any one week?
Coming in a week, to be honest, sometimes we can get 2 or 3, sometimes we can't. It all depends. I mean, because we're more of a sanctuary than a rehoming centre, we don't have such a big turnaround, because we do have dogs that will stay with us and in our care for the rest of their lives. In the kennels itself at the minute, I think we've got about 43. I suppose that shows how bad it is that I can't just hit you with an exact figure, but yeah, about 43 in there, and we've got about another 8 that are actually in forever, what we call a forever foster home. So they're in, you know, in homes. But obviously we do give a little bit more advice and help and support and stuff now that they're in the homes. It can just depend. At the minute we're pretty full kennel space wise, so that sort of limits as well. But I have had phone calls for 3 dogs this morning already, asking people, you know, asking to take them in. Unfortunately we just don't have the room.
Well, I was going to say, how do you actually fund a place like this?
It's very hard work. I've got a great band of people that behind and support the work that we're doing. You know, from fundraising, from tombolas to big pet store supporting us as well. I've got a guy down at Seton Sluice that fundraises quite a lot on a Sunday for us. We've got just a great deal of people that sort of realise what they're doing, but maybe it's their fortes and getting stuck in and getting messy with dog mess and stuff like that, and they like support by doing tombolas, and they say having nights out from there. So it's a usual kind of charity fundraising, and just relying on the goodwill of the public, to be honest.
Good. And of course, can you give an example, by the way, of the condition of the dogs and the treatments that they have when they're actually there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's taken us sort of 5 years to get to where we are. But basically now we've got a reputation of taking a lot of dogs in that nobody else will take, so it is very much a last chance saloon for these dogs. And it's not all sort of behavioural problems, it can be medical conditions, things like that, that other rescues maybe don't feel they're equipped to take on, or that they haven't got the place. But we've got dogs that have been stabbed in the eye with screwdrivers, we've got dogs that have got muscle wasting conditions, we've had dogs that have had cancer and things like that as well. So there's some real horrible stories there. I know when you were up there yesterday, obviously if you'd had a wander around, you know, each and every dog that's in there has got its own little tale, and it's all heartbreaking, to be honest, but they've got somewhere now where they can just relax and be a dog again.
Yeah, I really enjoyed walking around there yesterday, actually.
Yeah,
I really did, actually. So how many workers do you have, and how many hours a week do they actually work at there?
Yeah, again, because we are a charity, it's very much voluntary. We're not in a position, unfortunately, to be able to have paid staff and things in there. I think we've probably got a team of about 12 that regularly come into the kennels, and obviously that can be, there's some people doing a couple of hours a day, some people will come and do a full day, maybe it's twice a week. It just depends. Obviously everybody else has got lives away from the centre as well, so it gives them a chance to whatever time they can actually spare.
Well, I was going to come along on Wednesday and help walk them. as well.
That would be brilliant. Yeah, that's live on radio, so yeah, that's you collared in for that now.
What is the area that you cover in collecting the dogs that you've got?
The dogs that come into SHAK, we've had them from as far as Southampton right the way up to Aberdeen. To be honest, we do cover the whole country. We also do the stray collections. Obviously, we help Northumberland Council with that, and that covers the whole of Northumberland as well. So it would be called out to Hexham, Prudder, right the way up to Berwick, and obviously all the way around Cramlett and Bedlett and sort of what they call the southeast Northumberland.
Well, I wouldn't like to be stranded in Berwick for very long.
You pick the dog up and run.
How do you rehouse them? How do you go about it?
We've got a scheme that we call the Forever Foster Scheme, which is basically, it's very much, again, because the dogs have been through so much before they come to ourselves, we decided to put together a scheme where it was very much a gentle interaction and introduction to the people that are potentially going to take that dog home. So it starts with a home check, a little chat to people about what the charity offers and how we are a little bit different to other dog charities, and then it's basically a case of a series of visits up to the kennels, get to know the dogs, take the dog away for the afternoon, and just build up that relationship, that trust. And then potentially maybe have a sleepover for a weekend where the dog goes home for the weekend, so again it can see the surroundings, the people can see how the dog behaves in the house, and basically all aimed towards that when the dog does go home permanently, it's used to being in their car, it's seen the street before, it's met the neighbours and all that kind of thing, so when it goes home it's not such a big culture shock as leaving the kennels and having all these other things thrown at it and expected to deal with.
Well, my dog, every night I've got her used to sitting down in the kitchen on a bed, and I give her 3 of these shaped biscuits every single night. I do that. She waits in the kitchen until I give her some.
Brilliant. Oh, that's
Stephen Wylie, by the way, in the studio, by the way. We'll start asking him questions again. By the way, we've had one come in on the text. Thank you very much for that. But one of my questions. Do you get attached to the dogs? Have you had a special dog in the care at the centre that you've got?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard not to, because obviously they come in with such horrible stories and horrible tales and in horrible states, both physically and mentally, that again, as I say, being a soft touch, you can't help but be attached to them, and you put so much work in as well, obviously gaining that trust and getting the dogs to actually relax, that you build up a bond, and it's a relationship from day one, really, that you watch grow and develop, and hopefully goes with a happy ending, that they eventually go in and pass that relationship on to somebody else and into a foster home. In terms of is there a special dog, we've got some really special characters up there, and some that have had horrible stories that have come through, and you do have a little soft spot for. I think one in particular is a dog called Scooby, who was the German Shepherd that was stabbed through the eye with a screwdriver. I drove down all the way down to Birmingham to pick him up, and he bit me twice the day that I went down to get him, once on the arm, once on the leg, and I got a lead on him that morning, and it took us a week and a half to actually get the lead back off him again. I just couldn't get anywhere near him. He just obviously didn't have any trust in people and didn't want to be around people. He's now nicknamed Lord Scooby because he's a case of you open his kennel and he just has a wander around, and he's fine, and as you saw yesterday, he's full of cuddles, and you can do so much. I can bear that eye that was stabbed and things like that. The trust that we've built up is brilliant. When we did get him, there was a big interest in the internet with him, and obviously in blog entries and stuff, people were following the story every day of how, big things like being able to take the lead off, clip another lead back on, brushing him, all that kind of stuff, and it was brilliant that he actually had a range of Scooby fan club t-shirts and Scooby mugs and things that we saw quite well of. So I think he's probably one that sticks in your mind, although they're all very special in their own little way.
Yes, I have to admit, I didn't like that one as well. It was the only one that didn't ruin his bed.
That's right. See, I get accused of spoiling him for that, but he is just the one that hasn't chewed it or messed in it or anything like that.
So how long have you actually ran the centre for?
It started in June 2006, really, in terms of me getting involved and trying to do a little bit of rescue. We've been a registered charity now for, I think, coming up, it'll be 3 or 4 years, and we've had the kennels now for just over 18 months. So it's progressed quite well. The likes of your dog originally was probably about 5 years ago when I first started, 4 or 5 years ago, that she was involved, but it's kind of grown from maybe having 2 dogs in my care that I was trying to rehome myself or whatever, up to, as I say, this registered charity with the 50 odd. So we've come quite well in a space of 5 years.
It's been around for about the same time as Lionheart Radio as well.
Oh well, there you go.
What do you have? What kind of facilities do you have at the?
We've got. I mean, the kennels we've got are very basic, but we're very fortunate to have a facility where we can actually work with the dogs ourselves. You know, there's a lot of rescues that don't have their own kennels. We try and set out to enrich the dogs' lives and stimulate them mentally and physically again, and so that it's quite a fun time for them. I often say that I'm not going into work; I'm just there for their time, basically. So we have runs that are set up with a lot of tyres that or tractor tyres that are stuffed with their favourite toys or their favourite treats, or kongs, which are big things that they've got to chew through to get them out. We have other runs that are set up with sort of kennels in and little bridges and things that they need to go on. And we've got the bottom run's what we call the bottle pool, which is basically, imagine a soft play where you've got the ball pool for children. I was there with my daughter one day and thought that would be great if we could do something like that for the dogs. So what we did, we got this big container and basically filled it up with all pop bottles and milk bottles and stuff like that. And believe it or not, we do have one dog, a German Shepherd Cross, who actually deliberately puts his ball in that pool, so he then has to go and try and get it out. Anyone that's been on the website, they'll have seen videos and stuff for that, and it's brilliant, but he loves that, and you go in and there's just bottles flying everywhere, and so it's all about just giving them enjoyment, really, you know. And obviously we've got a big exercise area out the back. We get them out for a walk and they get down to the beach and stuff like that, so it's very much just giving them the best life that they can possibly have.
Yes, I'll have to go on the website and have a look at that. What do you have in mind for the future, for the
in the future we'd obviously just want to get bigger and better, I suppose, the same as anybody else. You know, we're very happy with what we've got, and as I say, we have come a long way. We'd just love to save more dogs. At the minute we are pretty full, and as I say, there's 3 dogs I've had to turn down this morning. I'd love to be in a position where you can help every dog, but I suppose that's just a dream long term. But when I set out to do this, I didn't have a blueprint where I set out and saying this is what I was going to do or this is what I wanted. We've kind of just gone along this road that's developed, so I'm sure whatever is going to be, it'll be, and we'll just keep trying to save as many as we can.
Yep. And if they have actually been mistreated, which I know quite a lot of them have, how do you resocialise them?
It's very much obviously just giving the dogs time. I think that's one big emphasis that we've got on any dog that comes to the kennels, that it's not a rush job. They haven't got a certain amount of time. Obviously we do have a no-kill policy, so even dogs that maybe have slightly more serious issues, shall we say, where they don't like people or what have you, even them, they're just given time. It's very much on their level, you know, that when they're ready to say that they want to come up to be stroked or they want to interact with us more, then obviously that's up to them. Socialising, obviously we've got a lot of dogs that are paired up and live together and things like that, and it seems to just happen because they're not rushed. It does just seem to come into their own.
Good. We'll talk a little bit more. It's going very, very well. Speaking to, I've forgotten his name again. I've forgotten his name. You can introduce yourself.
Stephen Wylie.
Yes, I keep on calling him Steve, actually. Well, it's sort of the same name, sort of. We are resuming the chat because, of course, the mystery song lyrics. I didn't know this chat would go on for this long, so we're going to have to try and guess. Of course, if you're listening at home, you're doing a text in, by the way, if you know what the lyrics and the intro, by the way, for the song. 07961771073 is text number. You can get in touch. You can also go online at www.lionheartradio.com, go onto the contact us page, set the attention to presenter on it, and fill in all of the boxes on that page. And of course, you can call as well, 01665 602244. Oh, right. The mystery song lyrics, by the way, the lyrics for this are: I need you by my side, girl to be my pride, you'll never ever be denied, everlasting love. It's quite an old one, by the way. Need you by my side, girl to be my pride, you'll need to be denied, everlasting love. I'm sure I've read that out wrong. And the intro for this, by the way, sounds something like this. It's one of my all-time favourite songs, by the way. Do have to admit. If you do know what that is, it was 7961771073. Do you have any idea what it is?
I haven't a clue.
Haven't a clue.
It's well before my time.
It's well before. Need you by by my side, girl to be my pride, you'll never be denied, everlasting love. They are the lyrics. We will resume our chat. Now, you have to admit, that's the unimportant stuff taken out of the way. We have a question, by the way, of a listener. Didn't text their name in, by the way. The question is, I've wrote it down, my handwriting's not very good. When you have the dogs that need to go to the vet, how can you afford to pay? As we all know, taking a dog to a vet isn't actually cheap.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Luckily, we've got a great relationship with a couple of vets that look after us, very well. It really depends on what the situation is. Obviously, if it's just a standard procedure, you go in, then we just have to raid the funds and pay for it that way. We have had dogs that have had serious illnesses or serious conditions, and we've launched, obviously, appeals online and in the local press and stuff like that. And again, a fantastic response from the public as well, which is always brilliant. It touches me when you come home and there'll be a check in the post or whatever, and somebody's read about a dog that you've got and has got a serious problem, because we always get the work done and then think, right, now we need to pay for it. So to get the support from people is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I wish I had a check in the purse when I do it as well. But I have to say, do you have any contact details whatsoever for that?
We do, yeah. People who want to see the work that we do can go online. There's a couple of things. Obviously, we are on Facebook if they just type in SHAK, which is spelled SHAK. Our website as well is www.shak.org.uk. And if they go on there, the blog's quite a good page because that gets updated. We put a lot of photographs of the dogs in and what actually happens at the kennels and what's going on up there as well. So that's a good way of seeing what is actually happening. And as I say, photographs of the dogs that we've got in, and it's quite nice to follow the stories there from them coming in a state to obviously settling down and hopefully going home. You can email, which will come through to me, which is SHAK, again spelled SHAK, at shak.org.uk. Or we do have a mobile number as well. It's 07931 702345. I'd just also like to mention that Davison's, the electrical suppliers in Alnwick as well, have kindly put a donation bin in there for dog food and things like that. So if anybody out there does fancy, donating food, which obviously we always need, Davison's, the electrical suppliers in Alnwick, have got a collection bin in there as well, which is fantastic.
Yes, I went in there yesterday, I have to admit. I went in after the programme yesterday. I went and had some lunch first, and then I went to go to SHAK, and I seen a pile of dog beds. Have they been donated?
They have, yeah. We do very, very well with dog beds, dog food, bedding. I say people have really got behind what we're trying to do, and I think people have realised that we are taking in dogs that nobody else will take in for one reason or the other. So as I say, it is very much a lot of hard luck stories, and we're just giving them a chance. And the public in general over the last 12 months, especially as the charity's grown, has just been absolutely brilliant. So I'd like to thank everybody that has donated. Like I say, bedding, dog beds, food, all sorts, bleach, washing up liquid, all the stuff that you need obviously to run the kennel. So thank you all very much.
I have to admit, I've got a dog bed at home. It's no good, by the way, but I suppose you could have some use out of it.
I'm sure we do, yeah. I'm sure we would.
That's about it, by the way, from Stephen. And of course, I only have half an hour left on here, and then I've got to go home and go back to work. But we do have to admit, thank you very, very much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Yes. I will play some Little Boots and Remedy, and of course, if you do want to. If you do want to give a donation, where's that bin again?
The food bins at Davison's Electrical Supplies in Alnwick.
I tried to tell everybody where it was before, but of course if you live in Alnwick you'll probably know where Davison's Electrical Supplies is. So thank you very much for coming in this afternoon.
You're welcome, thank you for having me.